You did something well today. Maybe you got the praise, maybe the promotion, the grade, the compliment. And for a split second, it felt good. Then something crept in. A quiet, unsettling thought. What if they find out? Find out what? That you don't actually know what you're doing, that you've been faking it, that sooner or later someone is going to look at you and see through the whole thing. This feeling has a name. Psychologists call it impostor phenomenon. And here's the part that changes everything. The more competent you actually are, the more likely you are to feel it. In 1978, psychologists Pauline Clance and Suzanne Imes were studying high-achieving women at Georgia State University. These were women who had succeeded by every objective measure: awards, degrees, recognition. But nearly everyone described the same private experience: a belief that their success was a mistake, that they had tricked everyone, that any day now the truth would surface. When Clance and Imes published their findings, something unexpected happened. Everyone recognized it. Not just women, not just academics. People across every profession wrote in saying the same thing. The most confident-looking people in the room were often the ones most convinced they didn't belong there. So what is actually happening inside your brain? Your brain is always comparing your internal experience to the external performance of everyone around you. And here is the flaw. You have full access to your own inner chaos. Every time you guessed, every time you only half understood something and nodded anyway. But you don't get that access for other people. You only see their finished surface, their confident voice, their calm. You are comparing your raw footage to everyone else's highlight reel, and your brain concludes, they know. You don't. Psychologist David Dunning found that the people who know the most about a subject are also the most aware of how much they don't know. A beginner sees a field and thinks it's small. An expert sees the same field and understands it's infinite. The more you learn, the more clearly you see the edges of your own knowledge. And the brain reads that clarity as inadequacy. Researcher Valerie Young identified something else. People who experience imposter feelings tend to hold one specific internal rule. Genuine competence should feel easy. Struggling means you don't really know. Uncertainty means you're faking it. But that rule is wrong. Struggle is not evidence of fraud. Uncertainty is what learning actually feels like from the inside. There is one more layer. Imposter feelings don't just follow failure. They follow success. You succeed. The feeling gets louder. You succeed again. It gets louder still. Every win becomes new evidence for the fraud theory. I got lucky again. They still haven't caught me. So people caught in that loop do one of two things. They over-prepare obsessively, trying to finally feel legitimate. Or they hold back entirely, so failure can be blamed on effort rather than ability. Neither path leads out. The exit is quieter. It starts with understanding that this feeling is not a signal about your competence. It is a signal about how much you care. The anxiety before something important is not fraud being detected. It is investment being felt. The next time that feeling arrives, instead of asking what if they find out, ask what exactly they would find out. Because what you will usually find is this: they would discover someone who prepares carefully, takes the work seriously, and hasn't figured out everything yet. That is not a fraud. That is a person doing hard things honestly. Pauline Clance, the psychologist who named this feeling and spent her career studying it in others, has said she still experiences it herself. After decades of published work, after the research that defined the phenomenon, she still has the thought, did I really earn this? Maybe the goal was never to make the feeling disappear. Maybe the goal is to stop letting it make your decisions. You did something well today, and the quiet voice that followed, the one saying it wasn't really you, has followed high-achieving humans into every lecture hall, every boardroom, every studio, for as long as anyone can remember. It's not a sign you don't belong. It might be the clearest sign that you do.